Okay, picture this. You're opening your front door after a long, exhausting day. And instead of feeling that sweet wave of relief, your shoulders just slump. You're immediately greeted by a totally chaotic living room, a massive stack of mail on the counter, and shoes scattered all over the floor. Coming home suddenly feels less like a retreat, right? And way more like you're just starting a second shift. Before we begin, if you're interested in psychology, human behavior, and powerful life lessons, make sure to like this explainer and subscribe to the channel. Now, let's begin. So, why does coming home sometimes literally feel like a second job? Well, you know the drill. You drop your bags, scan the room, and you see random items absolutely everywhere. There's a coffee mug from this morning, a jacket draped over a chair, your keys tossed, well, somewhere near the mail. It's that creeping, awful feeling that your own house is suddenly demanding things from you. You haven't even taken your coat off yet, and you're already exhausted by this giant visual to-do list screaming at you from literally every surface. And that brings us to the first major concept we're talking about today, the clutter in our minds. See, the real problem here isn't that we've all just suddenly become lazier or that we clean less than we used to. No, not at all. The real issue is that clutter builds up gradually. It happens little by little, and it secretly drains our mental energy. It's this slow accumulation of things being just slightly out of place that creates a massive psychological burden, usually without us even noticing it until it just becomes totally overwhelming. So, what does this all mean? The absolutely crucial point here is a psychological concept called decision fatigue. Basically, it's the mental exhaustion caused by making countless small choices throughout the day. Listen to this. Every single misplaced item actually forces your brain to make a micro decision. When you walk past that stray coffee cup, your brain is subconsciously asking, wait, should I pick this up now or deal with it later? And sure, you might say later, but your brain still had to spend energy processing it. Do that 50 times an evening, and boom, your willpower is just completely tapped out. Rule 1, touch it once. Okay, so this system relies on a simple 3-step process to build a stress-free environment. Use, return, finish. I know, it sounds incredibly basic, doesn't it? But honestly, it's profound. In Japan, this isn't even a formal rule. It's just kind of the natural rhythm of life. You use a bowl, you immediately rinse it, and you put it away. It takes maybe 30 seconds. By preventing those tiny, small pending tasks from piling up, basically by refusing to handle the same exact object multiple times, you stop a stressful environment from ever forming in the first place. Think about it. You don't have to clean a massive mess because the mess never even gets a chance to start. It is painfully true that clutter is created by thousands of I'll do it later thoughts. Seriously, every temporary spot you choose for an object is essentially an energy debt you're passing right on to your future self. Adopting this single touch it once habit makes your mind feel lighter immediately. Your environment stays neutral, it stays calm, which means your brain can actually rest when you finally sit down, long before any deep cleaning ever takes place. The boundary of Genkai. So let's look at how Japanese culture purposefully stops outside stress from crossing the threshold. They do this through the Genkan, which is a traditional entryway that serves as a physical and, more importantly, a psychological transition zone. Taking off your shoes here isn't just about keeping the street dirt off your floors, though, hey, that certainly helps. It's actually a profound mental boundary. The physical act of removing your shoes literally signals to your brain the outside world, the traffic, the crazy deadlines, the stress, they are gone. I am home now. And the great news here, you don't need a traditional Genkan to achieve the psychological shift yourself. You can easily create your own boundary. Just place a dedicated shoe rack near the entrance, lay down a clean mat, maybe grab some indoor slippers, and set a hard, non-negotiable rule that shoes stay right there. By implementing these actionable little steps, you're creating a mindful 1-minute pause when you walk through the door. It completely shifts your mindset, separating your work stress from your home peace, and it can absolutely elevate the mood of your entire evening. Motanai, respecting your space. Okay, be honest with me for a second. We all have that one museum drawer in our house, right? You know the one, stuffed with old phone chargers from like 2012, random takeout menus, and things we keep strictly just in case. Well, this contrasts sharply with the philosophy of motanai, which basically means never letting the true value of anything go to waste. A lot of the time, we hoard out of that decision fatigue we talked about earlier. It's simply easier to shove a random cord in a drawer than to decide what to actually do with it. But motanai, it's all about intentionality. It's not about forcing yourself to live with absolutely nothing. It's about making sure you only keep what truly matters and then treating those items with immense respect. To really embrace this, we have to ask ourselves a pretty profound question regarding our belongings. Are you a part of my life today? That right there is the ultimate filter. Try this experiment. Open just one drawer in your home today and ask this exact question of every single object inside. If the answer is yes, awesome, give it a proper, respected place. But if the answer is no, it's time to recycle it, pass it on to someone who needs it, or just respectfully let it go. By doing this, you are actively choosing your present over some imagined future, which instantly lightens your mental load. And for those of us who hold on to things strictly for sentimental reasons, we really have to ask, do memories reside only in objects or in our hearts as well? It's a beautiful but kind of challenging thought, isn't it? Letting go of an object doesn't mean you are letting go of the memory or the person attached to it. Actually, sometimes releasing the physical item gives the memory a lot more room to breathe. Building systems over willpower. This next part is exactly how we avoid that exhausting weekend cleaning marathon. So, on one side, we have event cleaning. It's exhausting, it ruins your perfectly good Sunday, and it relies entirely on willpower. On the other side, though, is the concept of a natural rhythm. This is daily micro-cleaning. We're talking wiping a counter for 20 seconds after making your morning coffee, or sweeping the bathroom for 30 seconds right after a shower. It's effortless. Just like financial compound interest, these tiny daily investments grow, completely bypassing the need for huge bursts of motivation. You don't do cleaning anymore. You just live it.
And this works hand in hand with our fifth habit: everything needs a home. Think about that frantic morning search for your keys or your wallet. The real problem isn't that you lost them. The problem is they just don't have a permanent address. If an item doesn't have a designated home, it will literally make your entire house its home. It will migrate from the kitchen counter to the sofa, right to the bedroom floor. A truly peaceful system requires a permanent, fixed location for every single item you own. Which brings us to a really beautiful realization. Cleaning is not something you do, it's something you live. When you assign permanent identities and homes to your belongings, cleaning fundamentally transforms. It totally stops being this dreadful chore that you have to schedule. It simply becomes the act of returning an item to its home after its daily journey. It's an effortless system that supports you rather than a heavy task that just drains you. Beauty in empty space. Now, this is where we move beyond physical objects and tap into our deep psychological craving for actual physical space. Ma is a profound Japanese philosophy that celebrates the beauty and the absolute necessity of empty space. In traditional Japanese design, walls and floors are often left completely bare. They utilize vertical space for storage to make sure the floors stay clear. It's exactly like music, actually. Ma is like the silence between two musical notes. Without that silence, music is just a chaotic wall of noise, right? The empty space is what makes the melody beautiful, and it's exactly what makes a home truly peaceful. This perfectly highlights our modern dilemma. The urge to fill every empty shelf with a plant or some random decoration almost always leads to anxious, overflowing spaces. And naturally, this mirrors exactly how we fill our minds. We overfill our calendars, our schedules, and our brains with constant overthinking. Leaving space, on the other hand, creates room to breathe. It gives you permission to simply be. It's okay for a wall to be blank. It is more than okay for your Sunday afternoon to be entirely empty. Ultimately, what this is all about is creating a sanctuary for the mind. True minimalism, true organization, it isn't about throwing things away just to have less stuff. It is about creating a space where the heavy burden of the day instantly vanishes the exact moment you walk through the door. It's about building an environment that actively heals your mental fatigue rather than adding to it. Your home should absolutely be your ultimate psychological retreat. So which of these 6 habits will you start today? Will it be the touch it once rule, or maybe you're going to try creating a Jenkin boundary at your front door? Just pick one and see how it shifts your mental energy. If this explainer helped you understand people a little better, make sure to leave a like and subscribe for more psychology insights. Your support helps this channel grow and allows me to create more explainers like this. See you in the next one. Remember, understanding people is powerful, but understanding yourself is life-changing.